Hi there guys, Sam here. Join me once again in the Golf R for another really quick video. Just a little bit about the new 718 Cayman GT4. Something that's such a really cool car, which I've always followed. And I just wanted to talk about it, about the recent announcement as of yesterday, which came out. So yeah, getting straight into it, straight around the Cayman GT4, rather than my my Golf R, which I do a lot of content on here on this channel. So the 718 Cayman GT4 has been sort of announced this morning, yesterday. You know, it's available to buy. It's actually existing now, rather than sort of spy testing on the Nürburgring and stuff. It is now available. So a little bit around the figures. So it's 414 brake horsepower and 310 pounds-feet of torque. So it's the same torque as last time. Generally torque is a little bit low, just because that's what naturally aspirated engines are. They tend to rev high to get the power out. For example, my Golf R is about 280 pounds-foot, so it's only actually 30 pounds-foot more than this. But it's about 415 brake horsepower, which is about 35 up from last time. It was 385 before. It's supposed to be a lot faster. So they've done like Nürburgring times, it's 10 seconds a lap faster. So if you took out for a normal track, bear in mind the Nürburgring's like 8 minutes, so a normal sort of 2-minute track, you're sort of talking, yeah, it's going to be a good 2 to 3 seconds faster, which is not insignificant. It's definitely good. And the one thing that struck me as well, and you know, I'll sort of overlay pictures and information about it, there'll be sort of links in the description about the car, was that they talk a lot about aero. They talk a lot about how it's like, it's more stickier to the ground, it generates this amount of downforce, it's more slippery, and they've got like a little video about it as well on the actual website. It looks quite cool. So they're certainly adding bits to that. Looks wise, it looks cool. I think the 718's always been great, but I've never driven one myself. I was always, you know, I do like my Porsches. I've driven quite a few around Silverstone's racetrack. Well, Porsche Silverstone, around sort of the back of the Silverstone GP track. I drove the 981, the 3.4 litre Cayman GTS, quite a few times around there, and then I spent a lot of time in the 981 Cayman GT4, and I absolutely love it, and it's built for the track. I'm actually driving one in about a week and a half's time, so it'll be good to sort of drive that. And this is certainly going to be great, because I think everyone's sort of worried in the car industry that it is eventually going to end. You know, they're not going to be naturally aspirated cars. Everything's going to be restricted. This car's no different really. They've tried, you know, with the new sort of WLTP regulations. It's got a particulate filter. It's, you know, it's got a few extra bits which have to make it more efficient. In fact, actually on a cruise, it's got cylinder deactivation stuff, which again is quite cool, and it kind of has to do it just to make it more friendly. For me, it's a car that, although they try and say it's more of a road car, they say it's got more road type tyres rather than really sticky, you know, track type tyres. It's a car for the track for me all day long. You know, I'm definitely going to be trying to drive 100%. They, you know, the stock at Porsche Silverstone sort of up in Northampton is really good. So when they do have one available to sort of try and rag around their track, I will definitely drive it, and well, yeah, I'll definitely share that, share what my experiences were of that with you guys. I'm sure it's going to be great. Hopefully this year, if not next year, kind of the latest. So looking forward to that actually, and I think it's one of those cars, you know, I've got the Golf R, which is absolutely brilliant, and I love it to bits, and it's so good as a daily, and it's so good as just a fun car. That's obviously another level, and those are the kind of cars you want to be driving on track. You know, you really do. They're just, it's just something else. You know, it's not the fastest thing in the world. It's 4.4 seconds to 60. It's quick enough. It's not the fastest thing, even though it's now 4 litre naturally aspirated flat 6. So its displacement is a little bit higher than the 3.8 last time. It might not sound as good because of the restrictions. Well, in fact, it won't sound as good, frankly. May as well just say that now, until people potentially fettle with them and make them sound better. But it's not going to sound bad, that's for sure, with that engine. And that was a big thing that everyone really didn't like about the 718, just normal Caymans. So it's good that they've done it. It's good that they're keeping it going. I think it's going to be the last that run out of any sort of naturally aspirated type cars in this sort of segment. I think they will, even with their GT cars, I think they will start I think they will go turbocharged. I think they will sort of move away from, you know, what we've all sort of come to love and know. But I wanted to share that announcement. It's really, really cool. The car starts from around £75,000 in the UK, so it's not a cheap car. It's up from about 10 grand from what the GT4 was back in 2015-16. But that car kept, you know, after about 5 minutes of it, it sold as a premium, sort of like 110 grand some were going for. Even now, they're sort of above what people would have paid for them. And actually, interestingly, the price of this car at 75,000 is not too dissimilar from a 2016 a lowish miler 981 GT4. Frankly, I know which one I'd want to try. I'd want to try the new one, particularly with that 4 litre flat 6 naturally aspirated. It's going to be absolutely brilliant. But yeah, I'm looking forward to trying it out and driving it. But it's something that's really just, I just think it's kind of that pinnacle. It hits that sweet spot. You know, the times I've driven it around track, it's been superb, and it suits sort of like a tight, twisty, small track, which is perfect. You know, it's what you want. You can get so much engagement. Manual gearbox only, so I've got a manual in my Golf R for the manual subscribers of mine. You know, it's good to see that that's not going anywhere, and they see that as the sort of headline of the car. And I think it's going to be absolutely brilliant. Looking forward to driving it. You know, hopefully I've done plenty of pictures on it. I think it looks great. I think, you know, I wouldn't say it looks anything better than the old one. I think the old one looked great as well. It looks a little bit more race inspired, just from the pictures that I've seen. Diffuser looks a little bit weird. It looks a little bit bigger, but I still think it looks cool. The interior is more simplistic. You know, it's good to see. You know, the 911s have gone down like the Panamera route with, like, you know, your 40-inch LCD 4K HD TV. It's just nice and simple, and that's what you want in a car, which you're just primarily going to hammer it round. And I definitely want to drive it, and I'm looking forward to driving it, because I will definitely try. Well, I'll definitely get my hands on that car, and it will be brilliant. But yeah, let me know what you think about the new 718 GT4. You know, I think it's just going to be a brilliant car, and something I'm so glad that they've managed to sort of push through in these sort of tough economic times. And it could just be the last one, the last hurrah of kind of this decade. You know, we're not too far away from 2020, so it's great to see that they've done it. But yeah, that was it. It's just a little bit of information about that. I've put some links in the description. There's plenty of information going off on it. For sure, other people will do, you know, decent tests of it and stuff like that. But I wanted to mention it. It's something, you know, I like to do videos on certain news, which, you know, means a lot to me. Something that's exciting that's just come out, which I think I'd like to share with you guys. You know, I don't just go with the trend. I do something which, you know, I'm quite passionate about my car, so I like to talk about these kind of things. And yeah, hopefully get the chance to drive one in the near future. So hopefully stay tuned for that. But other than that, obviously plenty more content to come on my Golf R. I've got a couple of track days coming up, as I mentioned in my last video. One this Saturday actually, and obviously in the old Cayman GT4 next week. So really looking forward to that. And yeah, and also really enjoying my Golf R. But you know, thanks very much for watching. Please subscribe for more content. Let me know your thoughts on the 718 Cayman GT4, and I will see you again next time. Cheers, guys.